guys broadcast on ops too?
Yes.
You think this was
All of
happening
our
for their development
assignments,
centers?
operational ops, and some of our certification courses are live streamed.
Alright.
Are you able to live stream?
Am I don't think I have anything connected like a Twitch or YouTube to my broadcast.
Okay. Do you
But I can
have a Twitch or YouTube account?
yeah, I'll just try.
You ever think we'd end up here? You ready for this fight?
Alright, stream is live. Okay, you have any questions so far?
No.
Alright, you ready to kick this off?
Sir?
Alright, we're going to go ahead and head out to the helo where you'll receive some more instructions regarding mounting and dismounting of vehicles. This will apply to any type of vehicle, be it a chopper, plane, boat, truck, APC. You just modify it based on how the seating arrangements are set up.
Copy.
Alright, so one's moving.
You ever see yourself
Two
doing
moving.
this?
Do you still want me to stream?
No, I was just asking you if you could.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then after BCT, I'll try and get it all set up.
Okay. Alright, one crossed. Alright, as soon as you cross, go ahead and remove the suppressor from your pistol. And we'll meet out by the helo. Alright, so mounting and dismounting vehicles, it's all the same. You just kind of adjust based on seating. So obviously your pilot or driver seat does not count. Obviously the driver or pilot's the only one that can be in that seat. You will be able to earn a pilot's license in our server until such time. Whenever you're doing anything official, you cannot fly.
Okay.
Copy. Alright. So the way the seating works is right and left is determined as if you're sitting in the helo. So this would be left 1, left 2. Come around to the other side. So since the front seat is available to passengers, that would be right 1, right 2, right 3. So when you enter a vehicle, you would pick a seating location, and when you get on, you'd say right 2 on, and then everybody else, whoever the last man is, once you give your seat number, you would say last man. That lets the pilot or driver know that everybody is set in the vehicle and they can go ahead and proceed. Tracking so far?
Tracking.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop in the helo here. If my character can quit trying to be a passenger. Pilot's in, everybody in.
Left 1, last man.
Copy. We got about a 12-click flight to get to where we're going. So if you could, while we do that, can you pull up your item inventory and let me know if you have access to the M4A1 blueprint and the Army jacket.
Alright, so you go to my loadout.
Yeah, one will be in your weapons inventory, and one will be in your category for your uniforms that's tops.
Okay, so I have the blueprint.
So you do have the M4?
Yeah. Yeah.
Copy.
M4 airplane.
Copy that.
But I don't know what army jacket.
It's literally called Army Jacket. It's just one of the tops.
Don't think I have that.
Okay, well, as part of your BCT, we will be going to get that. How do you like behemoths?
Oh,
Good, because that jacket is located at a behemoth defense zone. So basically, once we get to that point, I will piss it off and attempt to distract it while you sneak in, get what you need, and get out.
gotcha.
And it always sounds easier than it really is.
The army jacket is exactly a jacket on the top.
Yeah, it's literally just called Army Jacket.
Oh,
It's one of the tops that you can utilize for uniforms.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, we've started to learn things by their exact name because it makes it easier for you guys to find them. Still got about 6 more clicks. If you need to run to the bathroom, grab a drink, do so now. If you go to the bathroom, mute your mic, please.
I already did that.
Okay. How'd you come across our server?
Oh, I was just looking in the Recon missions.
Gotcha.
I was just like, just scrolling trying to get in on the action because I left it, my old ones, and when I left it, I was like, time to take a break, take a little break, I could be back in on the action. Decided to see if any new ones were there. Because all the old ones were like gaming hubs. But I wanted like a proper person. I came across you guys. I was like, that would be nice.
Yeah, we're still relatively new. I think we're in our 2nd or 3rd week.
Right.
All of the guys have previous experience in mill sims. We weren't liking what we were finding, so we decided to do our own thing.
Right.
It's working out good so far. So I'm guessing if you were in COS, some of this is going to look familiar to you.
Oh yeah.
On ground, everybody up. Pilot out. Okay, we are going to proceed up here. Alright, so go ahead. I'm sure you're familiar with column and staggered.
Yes.
So basically a column is a straight line with spacing. Staggered is essentially a zipper. So column formation, you would form there. 3 would be there. 4 would be a little back behind you. And that would be a column or a staggered. Typically, if we're going down corridors, long trips down roadways, we'll do a staggered formation just because it makes us a slightly smaller target. Oh dear God. Okay. The focus just popped up. I thought we had an Azrael inbound. Alright, and most of what we'll do is column formation. So we're going to go ahead and push up here. This little pathway is going to be our simulated roadway. So we do what's called crossroad coverage. So essentially, if it's just two people like it is now, I would face one direction. So north covered and clear, you would face the opposite direction. You would say copy, and then you would advise if it's clear. All right, and then yep, and then while you're facing your direction, your team lead is going to say begin cross on green, red, yellow, green, crossing, and then you both cross at the same time. That way both sides of the road are covered. Now if you have multiple people, your first two are going to pick a direction. Your third and fourth, if you have them, will then cross in the space between them to simulate not crossing line of fire. Once they get to the other side, they will pick directions. Once you hear the direction you're covering called, you will then say two crossing. You will cross in between them. Once you reach the other side, you would then say two set. That's letting your team lead know that everybody's on the same side of the road, everybody's set. Tracking so far?
Tracking.
Alright, so what I want you to do is pretend there's an enemy over there, and I want you to take cover on that fence in front of us. Thank you for picking a solid part of the fence. So clearly, this area does nothing for you. Where you're at now, there's a cover and concealment. Cover will shield you from bullet wounds, concrete walls, buildings, steel walls, solid objects. What you're standing in front of is called concealment. All it does is hide your presence from the enemy until you're ready for them to know you're there. Any questions so far?
Negative.
Alright, so what we're going to do now is called bounding. I'm sure you've done this before. So at team lead's discretion, he will call for bounding. Essentially, that is moving every teammate and staying in cover at the same time. So the first man in the group will pick a location, say 2 move to ping, 2 will say 2 moving, move to the ping. If you need me to re-ping, just let me know.
2 set.
Alright, and then what you will do is you will look forward to the next safest place for the guy behind you to move. And then it'll keep going in rotation until your teammate or team lead says you're good to go, back in formation, or you've reached your destination. So from your vantage point, you would pick the next safest place for someone to move, and you would ping it.
Do I say anything?
Yep, and at this point it would be 1 to ping, but if we had a third man, it would be 3 to ping, and then 3 would either say 4 to ping or back to 1, and you just keep going in a circle until you reach your destination.
So you want me to ping?
Yep. 1's moving. One set. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on breaching, so meet me at the door to this building. Do you by chance have flashbang set?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, no.
That's fine. What we'll do is we'll use bullet casings. So go ahead and select your item wheel and select shell casings. Alright, so what we're doing here is called cross breach. Clearly, where I'm lined up, I can see your left side of the room. Where you're lined up, you can see my right side of the room.
Yeah.
So in this case, you would line up 2 men per side, ideally not crossing the doorway. So this is effective if we're coming in from opposite sides of a building, or if we have 2 corridors that converge to 1 entry point. Team lead would then request someone to prep a flashbang. At that point, you would get the flashbang out, say flashbang prepped, and then team lead will either say send it or deploy or something to let you know to throw it. At that point, you would throw it, say flash out. As soon as the flashbang goes off, that is your cue to enter the room. Team lead is always the first one in. cross breach, since I'm facing left, you're facing right. Clearly, I'm going left, you're going right. When you breach in, what you're looking for is doorways, stairwells, or anything that is adequate enough for an enemy to come from. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Basically, you want to watch any area where someone could pop out and shoot you in the ass.
Okay.
So, once you enter, first man's going to go, depending on which side of the door, either right or left. Second man will go to the opposite side. Third man's going to come straight down the middle. Fourth man's going to immediately turn around and cover the door you just entered. So in this case, go ahead and get a shell casing ready.
And I'm pretending this is a flashbang?
Correct.
So, flash prepped.
Yep, go ahead and flash out.
Flash out.
So bang, one moving, doorway left,
Window, right side,
set on door.
shelf. Now, do I come back to you, or do you want me to
Yes,
stay?
when it's two men, you would immediately fall back behind me. If there is more than, you would basically fall back to here. That way you're in cover.
Right.
The middleman, which is 3, would fall in behind me because obviously he's closest. And then if there was a 4th man, you would cover the door and the 4th man would already be there. That way, once we stacked up on this, we're already prepped and ready. So go ahead and stack up behind me. Okay. Thank you for staying standing. So obviously there's a reason that the first man crouches. If you see a tango that I don't, and I'm standing up, you can't shoot him. If I'm kneeling and you're standing, you can. Whenever you're stacking on a door, if an enemy unexpectedly pops out and you have a shot on him, take it. No one's going to be mad at you for stopping them from getting shot in the face. Alright, so then here, this would be the same thing. So I'd tell you to prep a flashbang. You would come just off my right shoulder, just far enough to where you can get it through the door without blinding us both, but not far enough where they can see you. Does that make sense?
Flash out?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so bang. I'm going to go in and immediately go to the left, one moving. Left side clear.
Right side clear. Doorway. West side.
Copy that. Any questions?
Negative.
It's all pretty self-explanatory. Alright, now you get to have some fun. So we're going to move outside. What I'm going to need you to do is find a bush and get comfortable. Ah, crap. Well, that's not cool. Kind of looks like all hell broke loose here. Oh, righty then. Alright, do you see Alpha?
Alpha thing. A for.
Alright, so Alpha is what we call an HVT. HVTs for us are in this order. Your commanders, or red hats. Your bagman. Radio op. And if all else fails, drone operator is an emergency HVT.
Roger.
That way...
I cannot see the HVT.
Can you see the ping?
I can see it, but it's like floating in the air for me.
That's because he's behind a hill. He is running with a 2-man element. Both of his buddies are both riflemen. There should be a second group here. And
Looking at, I can see 2 riflemen outside. But no red.
are they right in that area? So basically, Bravo is one of them.
Alright,
Is he one of the
Bravo
riflemen you can see?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically to his west is where Alpha is sitting. It
Okay.
looks like he's kind of staying behind a hill, and they're just kind of walking in circles.
Okay.
Not real sure why.
No, they stole from me. They're like,
Oh, they're just moving in circles for me. Normally there is a second group down here, but I'm guessing by this blown up truck some shit happened here before we got here.
okay.
Because it's not exactly normal for there to be a truck blown up here. Bear with me here.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Uh, sorry for being like, a know-it-all. I don't mean it, but back at the homestead when we were clearing that road,
Mm-hmm.
right when we came out, you said there was a dynamite case. So I don't know if, like, if I'm in that position, I should really call that out or not. Because
Was it a
it
sealed
was,
case or an open case?
it was sealed, but it's still flammable.
Okay, so in a circumstance where we don't use it all the time, you would call out anything like that. If you had eyes on a generator,
Right.
if you had, oh hey, I see your second group. It's a rifleman and a breacher marked Bravo. Do you see them?
Roger.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, this case, you are going to approach Bravo, trying to avoid detection by Alpha and his group. You are going to remove Bravo using CQC and CQC only. Then you will proceed. Alpha needs to be taken alive. His friends, I don't care what you do with them, dispose of them however you see fit. Just bring Bravo or Alpha alive back to the helo.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yeah. So the two riflemen right next to him, can I kill them?
You can take them out however you need. We don't need them. As long as Alpha is brought back alive is all that matters.
Okay, so Bravo, CQC, and Alpha bring back alive.
Correct. Bring him back to the front of the helo.
Roger that.
Alright, proceed whenever you're ready, however you see fit. Cover.
Can you just ping the helo so I know where it is?
Absolutely. Oh, if that son of a bitch stole our helo, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. It sounds like I'm joking, but we've actually had 3 different helos stolen from us here. It's on ping.
That's the first. I've never heard of an NPC stealing a helo.
If there's a bagman and you alert him, he will go straight for our helo. Every time. It's happened to us 3 times.
Ouch.
Yeah. Because then you get to go steal one from them.
Can I equip suppressors?
You're just using CQC, so you won't actually use your pistol on them, but if you want to on Alpha, however you see fit.
Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, so Bravo's down.
Okay. And dispose of Alpha's friends. Bring me Alpha alive.
Roger that.
Very nice. Okay. I will meet you back at the helo.
Where's the helo? I'm sorry. But is it Alpha?
Uh, let me go ahead and remove Alpha so it's not as confusing.
Okay, coming in from your west side.
Copy that.
Blue.
Eyes on.
Okay, you want me to keep him in the chopper?
What you're going to do is step in front of the helo, and you're going to face him so that, yep, and take a screenshot like you're taking a selfie, and send it into the BCT chat message board.
On the PSN?
Correct. And then while you do that, I'm going to fix something that I forgot. My darkest night is on, so nobody's going to be able to see Jack. And now it's off.
Just taking another picture. I don't know, not even showing up. Just taking. Okay. You want me to write anything with it?
Nope, just send the image in.
Sent.
Okay. Image received. And confirmed. Alright, what you're going to do now is knock him out, stow him in the helo. Okay. So you said you have the M4 but not the Army jacket, correct?
I have the M4A1, but I do not have the Army jacket.
Okay. Alright, so we will get that for you right now. We're going to go ahead and get in the helo and head to our next objective. Pilot in.
Right side. Last man.
Cover that.
Sounds like me. Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know, I got into the chopper and I still have my night vision on, but it was like, I don't know, some type of lightning. It just made me almost weak white.
It was probably the interior light when I entered the helo. For some reason, these helicopters have an interior light that comes on when you open the door.
Yeah.
I always have to remind myself to turn my NVGs off so I don't blind myself. Okay, helo on ground, everybody up.
So out.
Alright, go ahead and pull our HVT out. You're going to drop him there. Put 2 in his head so the sumbitch don't steal our helicopter. Being spotted.
Hey, somebody's here.
Tango's down. Okay. So, are you familiar with Halo and Hey-Ho?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so this parachute jump, I'm sure you've done this before. Pitcher's mound is an immediate pass. The grass in between the pitcher's mound and the baseline is a pass, but with 20 up and downs. anything from the edge of this grass to the outfield is a fail.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Right. How familiar are you with parachuting?
Pretty familiar.
Alright, so high, medium, or low?
It's too high.
Okay then. Everybody in?
Right side in, close man.
Cover it. Now, normally I would jump with you, but we actually need this helicopter to get to our next objective, so I'm not going to.
Do you want me to go Halo or B?
It's going to be a halo.
Halo, okay.
So however low you need to deploy your chute to ensure that you hit that pitcher's mound, have at it. Typically with halo, you won't deploy until roughly 200. Okay, right two out.
2 off.
Always make sure you say last man.
Oh, for that too? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, last man.
Whenever you're the last one off, jumping, exiting, always last man.
Okay.
Because if the pilot's bailing with you, he needs to know everybody's out before he can jump.
It's on.
Hit the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, normally I get to the ground a lot quicker if I jump with you, but like I said, we kind of need the helo for this next part.
Right.
Alright, so that is a pass for your parachute portion. This will give you your basic parachute license. You can jump from aircraft and aircraft only. We do have a paratrooper course that will allow you to jump from the jump points around the island as well as tall buildings or any tall structure.
Copy.
Let me just double check. Okay, so Army jacket. We're going to restricted area 01. I think. Yep. And it's Russell Hill. So, restricted area 01. Russell Hill. And Bob's your uncle. Alpha is our next target. So we're going to go ahead and get back in the helo. That's kind of a long walk. Pilot's in.
Right side in, close man.
Copy that. Alright, now we're off to get you your Army jacket. So I can't remember which one's which, but one of these uses mortars and one uses gas. I'm kind of hoping this is the one that uses mortars because they're easier to dodge.
Pretty sure this is the one that uses gas.
Oh, of course it is. We'll find out when it opens fire on us. If we start getting painted by anti-aircraft, it's the one that uses gas. Now we remember which one has gas, because the anti-aircraft batteries are ringed around it. Which makes life all kinds of fun. Got 2 clicks out. What items do you have in your item wheel?
Casing, bandage, frags, EMP, binoculars, medkit, water canteen, breach torch.
Okay, did you say EMP?
Yep.
Nice. That is so gonna come in handy. Okay, now I just gotta find a safe place to land where he's not gonna blow us up. Okay, everybody out. We're getting painted. Push back. Okay, so what I'm gonna need you to do, the item that you need is on the top of that tower that the behemoth is guarding. Be advised, we do have a small group of tangos. Yes, it's on top of that tower.
Alright, gotcha.
So I'm going to need you to loop around west and get behind that tower. Let me know when you do. Yep, let me know when you do, because then I'm going to get its attention. Your only goal is to get in there, get to the top of the tower, get that army jacket, and get out safely.
Alright, is it in one of those boxes?
It should be the box at the very top.
Oh, I hate that sound.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and mark our friend. This way you can see where he's moving to.
He's facing west, so I'll need to go a little more to the side.
Cover that. Just stay behind cover till you get there. Advise when you're there, and then I'm going to go flick it.
Roger. Keeps moving.
I'm pushing in as well. Oh shit. It heard you.
Good.
Cover.
Yep. Going up.
We're still gray. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, this may or may not work. I need to get to a unseen hiding spot.
Army jacket is secure.
Oh, you already have it?
Yep, thanks.
Sweet. Can you get out unnoticed, or do I need to get its attention?
I can get up.
Copy that. Standing by.
Oh shit. I'm just gonna wait for it to
Yep.
turn.
By all means. This will be the first time we've done this without getting killed. Usually it turns into an all-out firefight. Uh-oh.
I think it jinxed us.
he heard you.
I'm egressing it.
He's alerted, but headed my way.
Roger
Alright,
that. Where do you
set
want me
up.
to meet you?
Head back to the helo.
Roger.
So I am on ping. Advise when you get near my location, and I'll go ahead and head back to the helo as well.
Copy. I'm moving towards the helo. I'm moving southeast. Do you
Copy
make
that.
your way back? Flank.
Alright, headed back.
There's the helo. Right in the dark. Thank you.
Yep.
Blue.
Copy. Alright, so now that is your BCT completed. Stand by, cut and live stream.